Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Martin with The Contoured Chemist. It's Get Ready With Me Day, and we have new shades to play with. This is my favorite time ever, can you tell? So I finally got in the new colors that were dropped at the Customer Appreciation Party that I didn't have already. So if you missed my last makeup tutorial over here, I was showing you guys the new highlight and contours, or highlights and contour. But now I got all the fun shades, I like to call it. So we're going to experiment with these guys, do a lot of comparison swatches. My goal is to do a look with all of them so you guys can see them on the skin. If you want to check it out, please keep watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and thanks for being here. Okay friends, if you missed the epic Customer Appreciation Party, there was a lot of new stuff released. And I'm talking more than, I've been an artist 6 years now, probably more than there ever has been. I think my day was made when I found out my favorite shade of all time is now permanent. Look at that beautiful goodness. Oh, got melted a little, but that's okay. It's still good as new. Sunshine State is now part of our permanent collection. You guys know I love this color, but I'm gonna show you how to use it in conjunction with, this also made a comeback. This is the Fruit Punch collection. So I already had all of them, but they released the new color, Grape. Oh wow, I hadn't even looked at it yet. It definitely smells like straight up grape. This might be scary to some people. I'm very excited to kind of mix and match. I will be honest. The Fruit Punch collection, in my opinion, is made for mixing. There's certain colors like, okay, so grape, this color is pineapple. They're all scented. Pineapple I don't wear on its own. And I probably won't wear grape on its own, but I can't wait to see some combinations of what these are gonna look like together, because obviously this is very cool, this is very warm. What do you think happens when you mix warm and cool together? It makes more neutral shades. So this entire collection, in my opinion, is all about mixing. They're all very sheer in formulation. If you don't know, they're all glossy. Oh, they're all scent. I just can't stop smelling them. They're all scented. They're my favorite. They came back, or they debuted last Customer Appreciation Party, but there was only these 4. So there's also tangerine. Sorry, I gotta smell them all. These are brand new. Cherry and watermelon. So obviously I feel like these are the easiest 3 to wear on their own. I wear them all 3 alone, but they are very sheer. So I will show you comparisons to other shades that we have that are very close, because this actually, my first thought when we got Jolene as the shade of the season was tangerine. It's very similar, just this one's sheer. Jolene obviously is not at all. It's very pigmented. So I'm gonna show you guys kind of a look. We're gonna mix and match and see some combinations we can get with these. I am very excited they're back. In fact, I had been telling my entire team, I'm like, please bring back the Fruit Punch collection in Sunshine State. That's all I care about. And they did, and they made it permanent, and they brought back a new one. I was on cloud 9. So, but they also released some other new goodies. Okay, so they came out with the Peach Balm. This is limited edition, just like the entire Fruit Punch collection is as well. Once it's sold out, it's gone. And last time, I wanna say it didn't even make a month before it was sold out. So just a heads up. This is just like, ooh, gosh, it's very peachy. If you like peach, I love our balm. It's pretty much just like, it's a different consistency than our lip conditioners, in my opinion. I'll be honest, I kind of prefer the balm over the lip conditioners. I go for this one. So this one is exactly like, the other one's just It smells like peaches, which is really cool. I hope they come out with some other cool scents, to be honest. That would be awesome. So you can also use it as an illuminator, but I won't be because we got a new illuminator too. I am very excited about this one. Okay, this is called Nova. And my first thought was, okay, how is that different than Glow? I don't have a new Glow because I use it all the time. Let me kind of mix it together. You guys know I always use Glow Illuminator mixed with my Bella bronzer. So, first thought is, how is this gonna be different? I will swatch it. I think it's gonna be in between Rose Gold and Glow. I'm hoping that's my first thought. So, Nova Illuminator, and then we got a new bronzer, which surprised me, to be honest. Oh gosh, my hands are all balmy now. So this is High Tide. So my first thought is it looks warmer than Bella, less red undertone than Heat Wave. I'm wondering if it's in between the two. So we're gonna swatch all the bronzers, illuminators, lip and cheeks. Did I miss anything? Told you guys, lots of new stuff. I'm very excited. So let's first do my face. I already have my glow screen on. I already primed my eyes with my eye primer. I got my balm on my lips, and my perfector, of course, has been prepared. Lashes fused. Now it's just time to start our face. I'm very excited to try all these. So I've gotten a lot of questions since my last video where I experimented and I tried the new Golden Hour to color correct. I used the new Hazel, which has found its way in my compact. As a main, I used Palace to brighten, and I have been testing different combinations because that's what I do. So let's start the face. As we get to each step, we will do swatches to compare as I try them, all right? Experimentation has led me to find that so far I get better coverage, in my opinion, and longevity when I still am using a little bit of my Mango, which has always been my color corrector, under Hazel. But I'm loving Hazel as my main as opposed to Sandy. So if you didn't see my last video, Hazel is new. It's in between Sandy and Mango. You can tell it's still warm, but it's not as warm as Mango. So I'm getting a lot of questions whether Hazel would be good as a color corrector, and here are my 2 cents. If you're using Mango to color correct and you feel like you're having to really put on a lot in order to cover a spot, so whether it doesn't last there all day, you're having to use a lot to get coverage, or you're having to apply so much that it's pulling you orange, Hazel will not be a good option for you because that means Mango is too light for that area you're color correcting. If that is the case, I would say try Golden Hour. You can try it. It is one darker than Mango. Since I've been experimenting, I don't find a huge difference between the two for me personally. I have one spot that Mango doesn't always correct fully, but it depends on the day. If you have hyperpigmentation and you're adamant with skincare like I am, your dark spots will get darker and fade depending on sun exposure, heat, and how often you're exfoliating. So like, it's summer right now. Heat is what brings mine out because mine is hormonal, not necessarily sun, because I wear sunscreen every single day. But heat is what makes mine come out. So like when I'm outside, that's when I notice that my dark spot gets darker. It's so fun. So sometimes I will have to use a little bit of this, but it depends on the day. So that's kind of where I'm at now. If you are way lighter and you're using Mango to color correct because you have points on your face maybe darker than amber, but you need a corrector, Hazel might be a good option for you. If you have As long as it's not darker than mango. I know that's hard to tell on yourself, so if you have questions, shoot me a picture and tell me what exactly you're seeing with it, and I should be able to go from there. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm still going to use mango to correct my darkest points. I don't find that Hazel gives me good enough coverage on these darkest points under my eyes because they're darker than Hazel. So it just kind of depends on your face. And I'll be honest, I'm not one to give you multiple color correctors for your face when you can use one to do the whole thing. So I'm not gonna say, we'll use golden hour on that one spot and use mango everywhere else and then use Hazel on here. Like, I don't think it's necessary to have that many highlight shades. If you can say, just use mango to do all of it, I don't think you necessarily need multiple color correctors. So for me, I'm not necessarily gonna always be carrying around a golden hour when mango will do the job sufficiently. And this isn't going to pull me quite as dark as golden hour would if I just were to shade up to just golden hour all over. So I hope that makes sense. I still am preferring my mango Hazel combination right at this time. So I'm gonna use blend brush and I'm gonna use mango and I'm gonna go ahead and just color correct like I normally do. And then I'll show you how I would use golden hour. But I'm gonna use this first because I'm not gonna use golden hour everywhere. Just remember, if you're gonna use multiple color correctors, always darkest to lightest. If I was to apply mango first and then this, doesn't really work that way. It doesn't do much. It's actually gonna be more prone to cause cakiness because the lighter your shade, the more it can cause cakiness on darker areas. So I went ahead and just hit all of my dark spots because using mango in this way allows me to use less Hazel. And if I was to apply way more Hazel, this actually, because it's darker than sandy, what I'm used to, it can pull me too dark unless I'm on day one of my self-tanner. So if you're a self-tanner like me and your color kind of changes depending on, you know, how long it's been since you've self-tanned, I'm noticing that I can use Hazel day one of my tan, like now. When I start losing color, I have to go back down to sandy. So kind of just depends. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and go in with Hazel and I'm gonna just press that on everywhere and I won't have to apply nearly as much because I've already blurred out all of my dark spots, redness, under eyes. And it won't pull me too dark because I'm not applying too much of it. Okay, back to this brush, just so I can build up some coverage on some smaller areas. So this is just gonna allow me to get more of a skin-like look when I'm done, which is always my goal. Again, if you've ever used this technique and sandy makes you feel washed out or ashy, because it's so neutral, it can do that. Hazel would be perfect for you. So just know, now we have some more options to color match you guys, which is always a good thing, even if it's a little confusing. Okay, now that I'm completely even, I'm gonna add that dimension back in with some contour. Of course, my ride or die, the detail, and I am gonna use the new Cedar. I've really been liking this contour shade. I did all the comparison swatches last time, so I'm not gonna swatch all of these again, but it is one lighter than my normal Astoria, but it is warmer. So since we've got, you know, a lot of bronzers and like a new, more bronzy illuminator to try, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this. Let's hope I'm not too bronze when I end. This is gonna be a bronzy look, I think. If you are using a warm contour and bronzer and you ever feel like you're too orange, look too warm overall, switch to a cool contour. It's the easiest way, especially if you're a bronzer girl and you love your bronzer. Because sometimes saying just don't bronze is not an option. So like I mentioned in the last video as well, if you've been using a cool contour, so I'd say Ash or Astoria, and it brings out your hyperpigmentation, usually going one warmer will help that. And so Cedar is a good option for that as well. I'd say the only thing I don't really love Cedar for is nose contouring. Usually our noses pull more red than anywhere else on our face. That's why shadow contour was designed. It's only for noses because it's the grayest. It does not blend out on the face, so you should not be color matched to that as a face contour. But that's one of the reasons why I liked using Astoria everywhere. I can contour my nose with Astoria and the rest of my face, and I don't need a separate contour. Cedar does pull very warm on my nose, so I'm gonna switch back to Astoria as my detail contour. Noses, you want to look like a natural shadow. And if you like to make your lower lip a little bit poutier, again, you want that to look like a natural shadow. Okay, it's brightener time. My last video, I was very pleasantly surprised. So Palace is the newest lighter and pink undertone shade. Now, if you look at me, I don't know if you can tell, I'm not pink. I'm actually pretty yellow, mainly because I'm a self-tanner. And if you self-tan, it's naturally just gonna add warm tones. So you're gonna be more yellow than if you weren't self-tanning, if that makes sense. So here's the comparison of what I normally wear, which is Aura and Palace. Now, it's not like Palace looks bright pink or anything like that, but I feel like it looks very natural. I was afraid it would look chalky, which happens if you are usually using a highlight that's the wrong undertone for your skin tone. But it actually worked really well, and I've been continuously using it. I feel like sometimes under eye brightness has to do with a personal preference, like sunlit, for example. It's extremely yellow. Even though I'm yellow undertone, I don't like it on myself. You have to like a yellow under eye in order to use it, in my opinion, and you have to have yellow undertones or it won't look right. This, I feel like, is working for people that even don't have pink undertones. Obviously, if you have pink undertones, it's gonna work even better for you, but also it's all in how much you're applying. If you over apply any under eye brightener, it's not gonna work. It's gonna look chalky and it's gonna increase the look of texture. So I'm just gonna apply it like I normally do. I'm gonna focus on the shadows around my eyes and not just put it everywhere. I'm also using this small end of the blend brush and pressing it on and not swiping or using too much product. Now it doesn't, on me, since I don't have that undertone, it's not, and I'm much darker, obviously, it doesn't give me the pop of brightness like Aura does, but I actually like the subtle difference. I feel like it gives me another option, but it is more subtle than what I've been using. But all that matters to me is no texture. And I've been liking a more subtle brightener, actually. Now, if you've been matched in a certain way to bring in your undertones and your very lightest tones in your face, you might not get as many options. So like, say my neck was way lighter than my face, I might need a much lighter brightener in the undertones of my skin in order to kind of bring that into my face and stay matching. Then you don't necessarily just get to switch up your brightener. I hope that makes sense. Obviously, everyone's face is different. But I am finding, you probably be like, Sarah, it's extremely subtle. But I've been liking a subtle brightener this summer. I haven't been wearing, a lot of days I don't even brighten, to be honest, but I've been reaching for the new Palace. I like it. Okay, I think our face is finally ready to be perfected, and so we can use some of these new shades. I do like to perfect after this step, before blush and bronzer always. Otherwise, it will pull off, and I like to apply precise amounts of those things so that I'm not having to blend as much, because I just color corrected all this. I don't want to have to blend out my blush or my bronzer. It's gonna move all of that correction. So now I can just pounce, I can get off excess, and now I can do the fun stuff. Yay, looks natural, even, like skin. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and set it. Now, if you like a matte look and you like to set your whole face, wait till the end. I only set where I need to so I won't crease by the time I'm done talking, because I've got a lot of swatches to do. So I'm gonna just touch. I'm almost out of powder here, so I'm just gonna kind of wiggle that. And I'm just gonna tap that on under my eyes, and I'm not powdering anywhere that I'm gonna be applying more shades. Swipe in for setting my lids, smile lines, chin, anywhere you don't wanna be shiny, but I'm not really applying any product. I'm not gonna be applying creams over that powder. If you do like to powder everywhere, wait to powder the end. Creams or powders under creams can sometimes cause cakiness as well. We don't want that. Okay, so after I have all that done, that's when I like to reassess and like add bronzer if needed. I don't always wear it, but of course today I am. So here you go, there's High Tide. Let's do some swatches. I haven't even tried it. Now, remember, when you get a bronzer, our bronzers are creamier, they're more sheer than highlights, they're not as tacky, they're gonna be way more pigmented when you first get it because they're not gonna be dried out at all. I don't feel like they have as much of that waxy film on top to keep them from drying out like our contours do. They're not as dry as our contours. The just formulation is very different. So remember that. And you don't need to apply as much when it's brand new because it hasn't dried out yet. So that's a pretty color. It's very pretty. Okay, let's compare it to, I'm gonna compare it to all of our bronzers. Okay, so see now this one I don't wear because it's pretty light for me. So you can tell, it's dried out. So I'm just gonna use the warmth of my finger. Okay, I probably should have done this in some kind of order so you guys can see. This is tan lines, so you can kind of see the undertone. Still warm, way lighter. If you wear amber or lighter, this is a really good option. Or if you naturally just have a very, very light neck, you can start with tan lines if you're like scared of bronzer. Tan lines would be my choice for you. The next one's Palm. I will be honest, I don't color match to this shade. In my opinion, it doesn't work for everybody. It's very much a personal preference. It's not a universal bronzer, let's just put it that way. So Palm is much more of a yellow undertone. Do you see that? Very golden, not bronzy. So on the wrong person, it can make you look jaundiced. So it's more of those things if you want to try it, if you think you'd be a good candidate for it, let me like look at your face and tell you, maybe those that maybe have no yellow in their skin, it will add that for you. But if you have a lot of yellow already, it's just gonna enhance that. It wouldn't be my choice for you. Like it doesn't look very good on me, which is why I don't show it very often. I don't wear it. Bella is the OG, the original, if you will. It's the one I wear every day. And in my opinion, it's the most universal color. So I'm curious to see it next to High Tide here because I don't know which one's darker. I probably shouldn't have blended out. Okay, so you can see, to me, it's like, it's just the perfect color. It's not, you can wear it very lightly, even if you're very fair, and get a very similar effect to tan lines, or you can apply it heavier if you're darker. And it just has such a great, not neutral, but it's pretty dang neutral undertone. It's not too warm. So I'd say my first thoughts are, this one's warmer, the new High Tide, if I can remember names. But which one's darker? Dang, they're pretty darn close. I think they're just different undertones. They look, okay, so this one's got a little bit more warmth to it. This one is more neutral. This one's gonna be warmer. Okay, let's try it next to Heat Waves. So our last and final one, so now we have 5, wow. Heat Waves, I love Heat Waves, but I don't wear it by itself very often. It's for much darker skin tones. Wow, that was a heavy swatch. Can you see how much red is in it? So it's much, much warmer. So hopefully you can kind of see the difference. Tan Line, Palm, Bella, High Tide, Heat Waves. So it's definitely gonna give you some options because I usually like to, when I'm like feeling like Bella's not giving me enough warmth, I tend to like mix in a touch of High Tide, not High Tide, Heat Waves. Now I'm gonna get really confused. Heat Waves. So now I feel like I could just use High Tide and it's gonna give me, it's almost in between the two. It is, it's like So I've been mixing these two. I think High Tide's gonna be like literally the mixture that I've been making up all this time. So let's try it, shall we? Remember, she brand new, she very creamy, don't need much. So I'm just gonna tap, and I never just go in to one place with this big brush, because otherwise when I touch my face, it's gonna deposit all that color on one spot. So you can either lightly kind of swirl. When it's drier, I swirl. When it's brand new, I just like, can you tell I'm barely touching different parts of my brush, so it distributes that. Whoa, there it goes. You can also kind of just take it to the back of your arm and kind of swirled, kind of distribute it as well. You don't really want to go on with a dense brush to a brand new bronzer and then touch your face if you've color corrected. You're gonna have to work to blend that out so it doesn't look like a big spot on your forehead. Okay, so let's try it. Again, I like to apply my bronzer by tapping so I'm not moving all that product. And again, I like to do this so I can slowly build up color as well, so it doesn't pull me too dark or too warm. I like control. I like to be able to use as little or as much as I want. Ooh, that's pretty. This would be really pretty on a no blush day. Actually, it would be really pretty just with Sunshine State, because I feel like this adds the color and then that would add the glow. But alas, I am gonna show you guys the Fruit Punch collection as well. That's really pretty though. Okay, so my nose is naturally darker. I don't tend to bronze it very much, but I will bronze down the neck. Keep myself matching always and forever. Okay, so I don't feel like I had to apply much of that at all because it was new and because it's a touch, I feel like it's probably a touch darker than Bella. So if you love Bella, this will give you a nice option on the daily. And yeah, next time I'm gonna have to mix it with Glow. I usually will put Glow in my compact right next to it so I can do this. I bet that would be really pretty, but I'm not gonna use it today. I'm going to use the new Nova. Okay, I'm gonna wait. Oh, I like to do Illuminator very last after lip and cheek because we don't wanna cover up that beautiful sheen it gets. Let's go with the Fruit Punch collection. Okay, I'm gonna swatch them all. First, starting with the ones that I'm gonna grab. Actually, I have all of them right here, except for Grape, which is brand new. So whoa, it looks so pretty. Okay, I'm gonna attempt to, actually, should we swatch down here? Let's do that. Okay, first we're gonna do Pineapple. Okay, in my opinion, Pineapple, again, is one of those shades. It can make you look a little jaundiced. Okay, it's straight yellow. It's very sheer, as you can tell. Like, I am swatching in pretty heavily and I just keep going to the same spot. But I don't think anyone wants a straight yellow shade on their lips or cheeks. But it's amazing to add warmth to any shade. So I'm really excited at trying it with that Grape, because Grape is so cool. It's gonna be too cool on its own, most likely. So let's try Grape. I haven't swatched it at all yet. Okay, remember, these are very sheer. They're not heavily pigmented. See that? Ooh, but lightly, you can totally use them. I just probably wouldn't put it on super heavy unless you're going for a certain look. Okay, so there's Pineapple and Grape. Now, the other three I wear on their own all the time. Let's go with Tangerine first, which at first used to scare me, but I realized using this color that I actually love orange on myself because it is pretty dang orange, but orange is just a form of warmth, and warm shades look good on me, so I love it. Watermelon is probably the most popular. It's like hot pink, but sheer, so you can wear it as light or as heavy as you want, which are my favorite because it gives so much versatility. And then cherry, same thing, but more of those red undertones. Aren't they pretty? I wish we had smell-o-vision. I mean, who hasn't invented that yet? So I want to kind of do a little mixology right here. I'm going to take one finger, pineapple, and I'm going to attempt to do, I suck at swatching with my left hand. One with grape. Just going to see what happens. I don't know if I can, it'll be enough to see on camera. I'm telling you guys, they're sheer, but with anything, they're buildable. I mean, it's kind of just giving off a nude, right? I told you guys, cool and warm. Since yellow is a weak warm color, obviously it's not as warm as orange or red. That's why it's so light. So let's try it. I really need to do a reel with these colors and mixing them so you guys can see. Let's try it with orange. Now, obviously orange is much of a stronger warm color, so that's why it's giving more of that pigment. Look at that, isn't that pretty? Yellow's weak, so it's giving more of that purpley through, and then you're seeing more orange here because it's, but that is grape and tangerine. It's beautiful. Like, so I feel like I'm a big fan of having the whole collection because then you can tweak your own color. So let's say you put on tangerine and you're like, eek, it's too orange. You can literally just take a little bit of the grape over it and you can just cool it down a little bit. That's what's so cool about this collection. Now that we have a cool shade, because truly these were all different shades of warmth. Now you have a cool to mix in, which is my favorite. So let's just show you what I was talking about. So I'm gonna use tangerine because the other ones are very easy to use, in my opinion, and it'll just give you a beautiful pink or beautiful red flush. It more looks like a natural flush, in my opinion. So let's just show you tangerine on one side. Okay, so it's much more subtle than Jolene. Granted, I showed you guys how Jolene can be, I really have been digging my finger into this, so a lot more came off than usual. Okay, and so you want to cool it down a little bit. Let's try a little grape over it. Since this is a weaker color, it will take a little bit more, but can you see it kind of turning? More mauve, more nude, but it still has that warmth under it. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, I love that color. Oh, that might be my new go-to. Isn't that pretty? That's pretty. I mean, the bronzer under it already gave us a little warmth, but that's really pretty. Okay, let's try grape on this side by itself because I just have to. Because I already have some warmth right here, it's not gonna pull me super cool, I don't think. But we're just gonna. But if you like cool tones, oh, that is so pretty. It doesn't look super, it doesn't look purple, right? I told you guys they're sheer. Now this on the lips could possibly, because I have very purple undertones in my lips, it could pull me really purple on my lips. But man, I like that by itself. That's really pretty. Okay, what do you guys think? I don't even know what else to put on there. I love it. Let's put a little pineapple over it. So pineapple, again, wheat color. It's gonna give just a touch of warmth. I feel like this is a color I would reach for when I put on a color that was too cool. So like, there are some shades that are cooler if you've seen my warm cool graphics. that sometimes I put on and they feel a little gray, a little washed out. You can just add a touch of something like this and it's instantly gonna give that kind of life back to your face because it will warm it up just a touch. That's why I like the sheerness of this. It's not gonna just overpower it with yellow or anything like that. No, I can't do any blush without at least applying some Sunshine State over it. So I showed you guys these swatches. Let me show you some comparisons. Obviously, nothing comes close to pineapple or grape, but if you compare these, some people might be like, okay, what about ruby and scarlet? Because those are also glosses. So for comparison, that's ruby, okay? Extremely pigmented. One of our most pigmented glosses, and scarlet probably is too. So just think of scarlet and ruby as like these shades on steroids. They are way more pigmented. Like I swatched these numerous times, but they're kind of like, if you love the undertones of those shades and you like to apply very, very little of them like I do, I don't wear them at full opacity on the cheeks, maybe the lips, but not the cheeks. That's why I love these shades. You can apply them and just build up the color until you're happy, and then you don't have to apply anymore. It's awesome. So obviously they are glosses though. If you apply them super heavy, they can feel a little tacky on the face. If you want more pigmentation, you can always apply a satin color under it. Like, did I say scarlet? I did. That's not scarlet, that's pop. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind. Scarlet is this one. It is a matte. If you wanted a more bright red lip, I would say use scarlet as a base. Then you could apply cherry over it to add that gloss. Has the exact same undertones. My gosh. So ruby and pop, ruby pop, not scarlet. Scarlet is beautiful as well. All right, and then we have Sunshine State. It is very deceiving. It looks pigmented in the 10. It is not. It is a very sheer. Here's mine that's been going for some time. It's very sheer. Let's apply it up here. Okay, so if you apply it, can you see, you can't see much pigment. It looks almost like an illuminator there, okay? So you're mostly gonna see that gold shimmer, which is why I use it as a topper shade for almost everything. Now, if you build it up a lot, like on the lips, it's way easier to get a little bit more of that color payoff. Can you see that? Gosh, it's so pretty. It's my favorite. But again, it's sheer, it's a gloss. If you really build it up on the cheeks, you're gonna feel that tackiness. If that bothers you, you need to put a shade under it for more of that pigment. So I've got some pigment down. This would look so beautiful over Jolene, which reminds me of this side. I haven't tried that one yet. So many combinations. This shade looks good over everything. So I'm just gonna apply. It adds that glow to your skin. So if you like glow screen as much as I do, I promise you'd love this shade. Now, if you don't like the glow on your cheeks and you like it on your lips, it makes a great topper shade for, again, any of those matte shades or any glosses as well. So what should we try on the lips? We got our cheeks done. I'm gonna go ahead and line as normal with suede lip liner. Since I've topped off all of my balm, I'm going to put on some more peach balm first. All right, since we didn't try either of these two, let's just try that. Since Sunshine State doesn't give a whole lot of color, it will kind of just let your natural lip color show through and just show that gold. Let's see, I'm just gonna kind of mix these. I like to just use them almost like a stain. There's pink and red. So they're sheer, but they will still give color, for sure. Now, I want to show you the difference between a little bit. See how you just see that gold? I feel like on your lips, you don't need nearly as much for that kind of color payoff, but let's load up and see what happens. Or not color payoff, but the gold shimmer. See that? We don't have any other colors that can do that. So La Cienega probably has the second most amount of gold in it, but it doesn't even come close to this. So if you can see how deceiving it is, like in the tin, when it's brand new, it looks pigmented. As you use it a bunch, there it is. You mostly just see the gold. The gold is what really stands out. We went over the fruit punch collection. I will for sure do a reel and do more mixing and matching because I feel like that is where the fun comes in with these shades, but hopefully that kind of helps. I'll be honest. Oh, let's show you Jolene. Where's Jolene? Next to Tangerine. I know when Jolene came out, I swatched them next to each other, but let's do Jolene right there. You can tell Jolene's way more pigmented, but the undertones, can you guys see how similar the undertones? There's cherry, there's pop, there's ruby, there's watermelon, Jolene, tangerine. I'm not gonna swatch anything next to those. They have nothing similar, okay? So let's go with Illuminator. It has been a while since we've had a new Illuminator. So, haven't even swatched it yet. There's Nova. Sometimes you gotta get off that top swirly swirl to see kind of what it looks like. I'm gonna try to do this with my left hand. Oh, that's pretty. It is very light bronze is how I would describe that. We don't have anything else like it. So let's do it next to Glow, because I feel like in the tin they look similar, don't they? Glow though, I mix it with my bronzer, or you have to have much darker skin in order to use it as a cheekbone illuminator, because you see how dark it is? Okay, so where is my other illuminators? Rose gold. Rose gold, we're gonna put that right here. Okay, rose gold has more of that pinky undertone. Might have to swatch this one a little bit heavier. Illuminators are very, very creamy when you first get them. Gosh, this is gonna be hard to take pictures of. I will update my swatch pictures as well. I don't know if you guys remember, Dolce was a limited edition color. It was more of a goldie, but can you tell this one's darker? This one to me is like, it's gonna give you that bronze glow, but you're gonna be able to wear it if you're lighter complected like me. I would say Glow is for like, I'd say you'd have to be like darker than papaya to wear that. This one you're gonna be able to wear if you are in my skin tone, right? Or even a little bit lighter, because I'd say, I don't know, I'd love to see this on some, I think if you're super fair, this might pull a little brown on you. Usually the more fair you are, the more you should go into honey, angel, or pearl. Angel is usually what I'd recommend for those lighter skin tones. So let me show you what Angel looks like. Angel is like a lighter version of rose gold in my opinion. It's got more of those pinky undertones. So there's rose gold, there's Angel. This one is bronzy, but not as yellow as honey. So here's Honey, which is pretty natural, I'd say. I got a chunk of it. And a lot of people can wear Honey as well. So I am very excited about this. I'll be honest, I didn't really think we needed a new Illuminator, but I'm excited because I love this color. I haven't even tried it yet, but I can just tell. So we're gonna go in with the Perfector. The only thing I ever swipe into is Illuminators. And let's see if you guys can see it with all of the glow on my face right now. Because I've got a whole lot of Sunshine State going on. Ooh, that's pretty. Can you guys see? This color is gonna be my new favorite for a tan. Most definitely, no doubt in my mind. If you have a nice tan going on this summer, you're gonna love this color. Let's just put it everywhere, shall we? Okay, under the brows. I haven't done my eyes yet, but we're just gonna load up. I need to do my brows. If I was wearing something low, this color would look really good on the collarbones. See that? Oh, I'm telling you, this is the new best color with the tan. Nova. I gotta remember these names. Okay, I think we've used everything. Let's do a quick eye look. I went ahead and filled in my brows. Let's do this eye. I feel like this has been my go-to this summer. Easy, quick, but makes me feel more put together, right? Okay, but let's go in with Sedona and the eyeshadow brush, and we're just gonna kind of carve out the crease super quick. So windshield wiper in the hood, or in the crease, and then up onto the hood. So make sure your eyes are open and you can see that color. Build it up as much or as little as you want, just to kind of create that focus and carve out your eye, and then again along the lower lash. Like, I could just end right there and be good. You can bring it down to the outer corner if you're a little hollow there like I am. Blend, blend, blend until you're happy. And then I'm gonna go in with my finger in Peppa. One of the most underrated shades ever. It's just such a, it's not even pink. It's technically pink, but it is so neutral in my opinion. I'm just gonna take it with my finger. It adds just enough light to the lid, but it looks good with any lip and cheek. Look at that, it looks so neutral. It's not too brown, not too gold. Oh, I love that color. I really am loving Nova as my highlight. Like, that's a beautiful color. It looks really natural too. Loving it. And then what else did I do? I just took the multitasker and I ran a little bit of cocoa, just kind of pressed it along my upper lash line. Kind of pulled it out a little bit there. And followed with a little bit of mascara. Oh my gosh, I can't do this in the camera. All the lower lash lines. That's it. We're done. Okay, I think we accomplished the glowy bronzy look for sure. And this lip and cheek combination, I don't even remember, what did we do? We did tangerine and grape and pineapple. I feel like this one's a little bit more orange, but man, I'm loving this side. I didn't think I would. And of course, that high tide is a good one. Again, just high tide with a little bit of Sunshine State over it, I think would be amazing for all summer. And Nova with the tan. Oh my gosh. Oh my. being my new favorite. Just when I think I have like all these colors figured out, they come up with new ones. They blow my mind once again. They're always so good. What do you guys think? Those are all the new shades. I hope that was helpful. Once again, if you are needing a custom color match, if you are curious if any of these new highlights would work for you, I mean, the new Hazel was pretty life-changing for me. It has been my go-to now after, how many years has it been? Probably at least 4 years of wearing the same shades. So if you haven't been recolor matched recently, if you've been wearing the same shades for 4 or 5+ years, we've had a lot of new shades come out. And every time a new shade comes out, I relearn how to color match, and it just keeps getting better and better. That the customizable aspect of this line becomes far better than it was before. So if you need a rematch or you haven't tried the makeup yet, it's life-changing. My color match request will be down in the drop box below the video and also in the pinned comment. I would be happy to be your artist and help you out. Just when I think I can't love this makeup any more than I already do, they come out with new stuff and I fall in love all over again. There's literally, no end to how much I love it. So I hope that video was helpful. If you already got your new goodies, I'd love to hear how you're using them and how much you're loving them. If you haven't yet, Fruit Punch collection is limited edition, as well as our shades of the season. I believe one is already sold out and I'm guessing will not be coming back. So grab those while you can. Sunshine State is now permanent. You don't have to stock up, but if you haven't tried it yet, I urge you to try it. It is my ride or die forever. You guys, you have no idea how happy I am that I can now put it over everything and I can wear it all year round again and not have to be like, oh, sorry, we don't have that one anymore when you guys ask what I'm wearing, because it will be over everything for a while. Sorry, not sorry. Oh, it's just so good. Look at that glow. Oh, so good. If you have any questions over any of the new shades, just drop them in the comments below. And as always, thank you guys so much for being here and watching, and I will see you next week. Love you.